welcome back to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be asking the top 10 most asked flight attendant questions. This is a tag that Christine created here on YouTube. She tagged me to do this video, and I'm so excited that she did this because this is such a fun way to bring us flight attendants together and kind of share all of our perspectives with you, because we all work for different airlines, like totally different airlines, and it's just so crazy to see how similar yet so different we all are. Before we get started, if it's your first time here, hi, my name is Allie. I am a flight attendant here in the United States. I am based in Dallas-Fort Worth. I have been a flight attendant for almost 5 years now, and I am the mom of 2 little boys, and I am pregnant with my 3rd baby boy. So I am going to have 3 boys starting January 2020. So I'm really excited, and I also share a lot of how I balance, the flight attendant life, motherhood, pregnancy. I do a little bit of everything on my channel, so I hope that you guys subscribe if that sounds interesting to you. Make sure you're following me over on my social medias, and let's get into this video. So the first question is, how do I become a flight attendant? So I'm going to be sharing how I became a flight attendant. I know that everyone has a different story on how they became a flight attendant. I'm also going to make a video just like going more into detail. I've talked about this before and how I became a flight attendant, but I want to go a little bit more into details in a different video, and just show you how I was able to do it as a mom, because I had a 2-year-old when I became a flight attendant. So I'm going to tell you how I became a flight attendant, and all I did is I pretty much just went online, and I went specifically to every single website that I could think of. This is probably the longest way to do it. I know that there's a website out there that you can go and check which airlines are hiring, and then you go from there and just start applying. I did it the long way, and I just wrote down every airline that I can think of, and I went on their website and I saw that whether they were hiring or not, and then I submitted an application. So you do apply online, you have to pass the assessment test, and you also have to do a number of interviews, whether it's over the phone, video interview, face-to-face. You have to pass training, and then you become a flight attendant. So it's a very lengthy process. Mine was on the shorter end of the spectrum, I want to say. I applied September 11th, 2014, and I graduated flight attendant training January 30th, 2015. So mine was on the shorter side of the spectrum. I know people that have been trying to become flight attendants for like a year, and it is a very lengthy process, but pretty much all you do, like I said, is apply online, pass the interviews, assessment, face-to-face, pass training, and then you become a flight attendant. Question number 2, do you have any remedies for jet lag and bloating? So for jet lag, I try to adjust to, or to adapt to any time zone that I'm at the moment. So for example, if I'm overseas and it's like a 7-hour difference, let's say, like ahead of my normal time zone, I will try to adapt to that time zone. So if it's daytime where I'm at, but it's nighttime back home, I try to stay awake as much as I can. If I need to take a nap, I'll take like a 20-30 minute nap tops, so that I am able to just kind of get a little bit of energy and then just keep going with the day, and then I can hold off until nighttime. But it's very important to adapt to that time zone, and also stay hydrated, eat well, because all of that kind of plays a factor into your jet lag. For bloating, I actually learned this from another flight attendant. It's a lot of work, but I promise you it works. So when I first became a flight attendant, I would travel with a little juicer, like a lemon juicer, some fresh lemons, and I would put that in my water every single day, and I would drink that a lot. And I feel like that helped so much, not only with my immune system, maybe it's a placebo effect, I don't know, but it helps so much with my immune system, my bloating. I remember I would just, my digestive system was a little bit better. It was just something that worked for me. So lemon water, tons of lemon water. Also ginger with lemon, that helps too. Turmeric, is that how you say it? Turmeric? That helps too. So those are things that I have tried and I've noticed that really help with bloating. Question number 3, how many days off do you get? So I believe my airline has to give you 12 days off every month. And I really don't have to worry about that because I actually get a lot of days off. I drop trips, swap trips so that I can be home with my kids. So I get sometimes, let me give you a specific number. So for example, for the month of October, I have 19 days off. So I've been home a lot. So think about it, out of 31 days in October, I'm home for 19 days. I think that's pretty good. And for the month of September, I was actually off for 21 days. So it really depends on how I want to work my schedule, what I have going on that month, which is something that's really good about the flight attendant industry, that you're able to do that. It also is based on seniority. So if you're brand new, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to do stuff like that, but the longer you are with an airline, the more days off you can get and the more vacation time you get and so on. Question number 4, how long is reserved for your airline? So for my airline, the average right now, from what I've heard, is about 1.5 to 2 years. So we have straight reserve, meaning that after you graduate flight attendant training, you are on call until you have built seniority in order for you to hold a line. So the more people get hired and the more people are under you, the more you move up that seniority list and the higher chance you have of holding a line. So when you're on reserve, you're pretty much just on call. You get used whenever the company needs you, whether someone calls out sick or they need you to board a plane and so on. So for my airline, I know some airlines do it differently, like they'll do like 1 month on, 1 month off, or just like a few days in the month, but my airline just has straight reserve. I was on reserve on and off for about a year. Question number 5, did you get to pick your base? So yes, I chose my base. We have Vegas, Dallas, Atlantic City, Detroit, Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, and Orlando. So out of all those bases, my husband and I decided that Dallas would be the best one. How tall do you have to be for your airline? I remember them saying that you pretty much just need to be able to reach and be able to close the overhead bins with no problem. You have to be tall enough to be able to do that. I have worked with flight attendants that are 5 feet tall, that are 5'1", 5'2". I'm 5'4", technically 5'4.5", but I say 5'4" just because I don't want to add the 4.5. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty average, and I've worked with people that are a lot shorter than me. How many years of customer service experience do you need? So from what I've seen on applications, like when you go to the requirements when you're trying to become a flight attendant, they always say they want at least 2 years of customer service experience. So my customer service experience is in banking. I was a personal banker, so I was dealing with customers and people all day long. I know that a lot of people that have worked at Starbucks, Disneyland, the mall, restaurants, the medical field. Question number 8, tips on passing the interview portion. Be yourself. Honestly, be yourself. Be a better version of yourself. Be professional. These recruiters know every excuse, every answer. They've heard it all. They've heard it all, and they can see right through the person, and they can tell whether they're being genuine or not. So, you know, just be yourself and actually research. Oh my goodness, research the airline that you are applying for, because you need to be able to answer, why do you want to be a flight attendant and why do you want to work for this airline? So make sure that you have, you know, the information that they are looking for. Do your research, spend a lot of time researching, look your best, look like a flight attendant, play the part, and you should be good. Question number 9, what made you want to become a flight attendant? So I never wanted to be a flight attendant. Actually, I didn't even start thinking about being a flight attendant until like a week before I started applying. If not the day I started applying to become a flight attendant. I just, that's not what I wanted to do. But one time I was at work, and honestly, if you've ever been in banking, you know how stressful it is and how demanding the job can be sometimes. And I was so unhappy. And I was talking to an Alaska flight attendant. I was doing a home equity line of credit for her, and I asked her what her occupation was, and she said she was a flight attendant. And I said, oh, that sounds like a cool job, but I'm a mom, so I can't do it. And she just said, so? People do it all the time. Single moms do it all the time. And I talked about it with my husband, and my husband was like, oh my gosh, do it, apply. He was so excited. I was excited. And we just saw how it could be such a great opportunity for our family. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I just wanted a change, and I wanted something else, and I just fell in love with the idea of becoming a flight attendant. And honestly, it was the best decision I've ever made career-wise. So I really think things happen for a reason, and I'm really glad that Alaska flight attendant walked into my branch, and now here I am. Question number 10, advice for new flight attendants. So I will say that after you finish flight attendant training, when you go out in the line, be willing to learn from people that have been there for a while, from their experiences, listen to their stories, ask tons of questions. You learn, this is a very hands-on job, so you will learn a lot when you're out on the line. Flight attendant training has a lot of information. There's so much to learn, but a lot of it you will learn when you're out on the line, when you're out working, and when you're on a plane and stuff like that. So be willing to learn from others, have fun, but also don't forget that this is a job. Take this very seriously. A lot of people tend to forget that. Also save money. You have to prepare for those slower months that you are not flying and you're not being used during reserve, while you're on reserve. So make sure you also have a cushion for those slow months. And yeah, have fun and feel proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself because you made it this far. And if you're in the middle of training, just know that it'll be worth it in the end. Is there anyone you would like to collab with in person from YouTube? It could be beauty, lifestyle, or even a fellow flight attendant. So I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of YouTubers during my time here on YouTube, and honestly, like when I meet someone, I'm not thinking like, oh, let's collab or anything like that. It's usually people that I like to watch, and it's just nice to get to meet them in person. But if I had to meet someone, not to collab, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say to collab, but just like to meet them, it would probably be Bailey Sarian. I've talked about her a lot on my channel because she likes true crime just like I do. So I could probably sit there and talk with her about makeup and true crime, which are two of my favorite things. And she has a series that on Mondays she gets ready and she talks about true crime, so I feel like I could just talk to her for hours. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm really open to meeting anyone. With my job, I'm able to meet different people, so sometimes on my layovers I'll meet people I've collabed with in the past or people that I've talked to, and it's just really nice to be able to get to meet people. So that is it for the questions. Thank you, Christine, for tagging me. I'm going to go ahead and tag my friend Richard. If you know Richard and I used to buddy bid. We buddy bid for like 2 years, and now he left me. He's working at another airline, but I tag him so that he can make this video. And then I also tag Oh My Theo. She actually has a Spanish channel, and I found her like a couple weeks ago because I kept having people telling me that my videos were recommended while they were watching her videos, and I said, who is this? And I went to check her out and I was hooked. So she has like a Spanish channel, and she's really sweet, and yeah, I really like her videos. So yeah, I tagged Oh My Theo and Richard. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time here. Make sure you're following me over on my social media, and I'll meet you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking.